What's so magical about your fifth day of the work week? Does it really matter? Think about this for a second. If you're an entrepreneur, or even if you're a worker, in your work, there are three different types of things categorically. There are certain things that will happen no matter what. You've got them on autopilot. You know how to do them. They're really easy to do. There's certain things you're working towards that you've succeeded at, and there's certain things you're working at that no matter what you do, they just don't seem to work. So think about this for a second. Let's go with that first category, the things that work on autopilot. Whether you work 4 days a week or 5 days a week, is it really going to matter with those things on autopilot? No, it's not, because they're on autopilot. So part of your work, whether it's 20%, 40%, 60%, whatever the number, part of the things that happen in your place of business are going to happen pretty much on autopilot. You don't need to be involved. Then there's probably some newer projects or some projects that do require some proactive activity from you, but you're not necessarily giving them 5 days a week. You don't need to give them 5 days a week. And in fact, most of us don't have 5 days a week of just solid, awesome energy to give. So you work on those and you get some results. But then there's that third category, the things that don't seem to be working no matter what. And when I talk with some small business owners and entrepreneurs, say, tell me about that third category, the things that aren't working no matter what you try. Well, Wade, I'm spending 2 to 3 days a week on these things. Well, what? 2 to 3 days a week? Yeah, because I got to make it work, Wade. Well, hold on. Let's first accept the possibility that it might not work and let go of your assumption that just because you want something to work, that it will work, that magically the entrepreneurial gods will make it happen because you've worked hard or thrown a bunch of money at it or because you're a nice guy or a nice gal or whatever it is. But if you're taking a project in this first example and 2 to 3 days a week, you're working on something that really isn't doing much for you, here's a shocker. How about you stop doing it on the fifth day and just take the day off? Maybe you need a rest. Maybe your brain needs to sort of figure some things out and get some perspective on why it's not working. You know, with athletes, we know that they need a certain amount of rest. Musical performers, actors, doctors. But for some reason, with business people, we assume that we can just work all the hours in the world and have there be no impact on our performance. Well, a lot of our performance these days is information-based or it's mental. So if we're tired, that's going to affect things. When you look at this from another perspective, another way to look at it is to say, let's say you're doing successfully. Well, if you're doing successfully all the time and you decide not to start showing up on one day of the week, even if it's every other week, is it really going to matter? And then there's my favorite one, which is, think about this for a second. If you can't do something in 4 days a week, why the heck is it going to work on that magical fifth day? So I've done projects. So this is not to insult anybody because I've done this too, where I'm working on a project and somewhere it's just so clear to other people that this ain't working out. But I'm working at it and I'm going to hustle and I'm going to grind and I'm going to make it. I'm going to push through and all those things that lead me to believe that I can overcome something that just ain't going to happen. And so again, if I can't learn how to bake a cake in 4 days, what the heck's going to happen on that magical fifth day? If I can't sell something in 4 days, what's so magical about the fifth day? Especially if I'm more tired, less driven, less full of energy, less full of excitement. So I really want to help you get rid of that myth that the fifth workday is magical. Or if it's the sixth day, maybe you work 6 days a week. And consider an alternative perspective, which is maybe that's the day that you recharge. Maybe that's the day that you get more energy. Maybe that's the day that you give your brain a break and you kind of walk around and you go around town and you see some things that spark an idea for you. Or maybe your brain and your body just get a rest so that when you come back to work on Monday, you're excited to go to work. You're ready to be there. You're eager to work and you come in with a lot of energy. So I really want you to consider, for the most part, most of us don't work amazingly effectively for more than about 30 to 40 hours a week. Definitely when you start going 50, 60, 70 hours a week, unless you're doing things like drinking energy drinks or using some sort of way to artificially keep yourself awake, caffeine, whatever it might be, which you're still probably not performing at your best. And think about it, if I could put in 32 hours solid per week, 4 days a week times 8 hours, 32 good hours or 28 good hours, what results could I get? And would that extra day really matter? And if it really would matter, maybe I need to look at some of my expenses and reduce some of my expenses or reduce some of my business risks so that I can work the 4 days regardless. I hope you find this helpful. If you need help mapping out or strategically planning how you're going to create your 4-day work week, go to 4daygameplan.com. That's the number 4daygameplan.com. And you can get the 4-day workweek game plan, which will walk you through a process for free, my gift to you, to learn how you can start planning your 4-day work week and moving in that direction. It took me 22 years to get there, but it's been well worth it. I hope you find this helpful. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below or shoot me an email. As always, I look forward to helping you make more money in less time doing what you do best. Thank you.